All right, it's your boy Carter J. We're gonna talk some MMA. I got the brother Jupiter Rock on the horn. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Jay?
All right, man. We got a huge fight coming up on April 27th at 205 pounds between Chael Sonnen and Jon Jones. You know, we recently seen him on the fighter. Damn, I forgot the name of that show.
Tough.
That's it. Yeah. That didn't really go the way how I expected it. I expected him to talk, more trash. But how do you see this fight going down, and who do you see doing what to each other in that fight?
Well, this fight here really is kind of a paradox in the sense that, I don't think anyone necessarily ever expected Chael Sonnen to be fighting Jon Jones, but that's the case now. They're fighting, and look, Jon Jones. Let's just be serious here. Jon Jones is probably the most dangerous UFC fighter that there's ever gonna be. I mean, he's tall, he's lanky, he's got reach, he's got skills, he's got technique, he's got a lot of, he's got a lot of fighting wisdom, I say, and IQ for a guy his age, to shine like he does. I mean, he's beating everybody. He's beat everyone that threw in front of him.
Right.
So from a statistical standpoint, there's no reason to believe that he's gonna lose this fight. But then again, it's not like Chael Sonnen is some pushover. Chael Sonnen, in my opinion, doesn't get the credit he deserves in the octagon because, when you go along the YouTube, comment section and you see a lot of people watching, a lot of people don't respect Chael's fighting.
Right.
And they make fun of him for losing and saying he's always coming up short, but fact of the matter is, man, half these amateur guys out there and these so-called fans and whatnot, even if they pursued a career in MMA,
right,
okay, would be lucky to even make it to a small production, or better yet, something like Bellator and be successful. To make fun of the guy and to disrespect what he has accomplished and what he can do. Because let me tell you something, there's not many people that can whoop Chael's ass.
Like straight on, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And even in real life, I mean, even the guy is not, it's not some pushover. He's the real deal. Listen, he gave Anderson Silva the roughest fight of his career. And that means something.
Right.
Because Anderson Silva's beat everybody. I mean, a who's who of MMA great fighters. And Chael Sonnen, okay. A lot of people will talk about the second fight and how the second fight is supposed to be so definite. Well, it's interesting because I'm like, all right, then why does it the first fight that they have matter if all anyone is going to reference that? Well, Anderson was hurt, and then the second fight or whatnot. Because if you really analyze the second fight,
right,
okay, and no bias, no anything, okay, because I'm not being chill by it. Anderson is my favorite fighter. You know what I mean? He just is, but Chael dominated in the first round. Now, do I think that some people say, well, maybe that was part of, Anderson's strategy, that it was part of his game plan because after the first round he went to his corner and then his coach is like, all right, now fight him, But I don't really think Anderson wanted to get taken down as fast as he did in that first round, and Chael took him straight down.
Yeah, that surprised the shit out of me. I was like, damn.
He kept him down the whole round,
Right.
Second round, you start to see better, takedown defense from Anderson. He actually stopped Chael's takedowns. You know what I mean? Chael tried, and I guess whatever Anderson was doing in the off season to train for, against wrestling like that, I guess he was utilizing whatever, he had gained, whatever skills he had gained to defend it. But listen, I don't make any excuses about that fight. I mean, Chael went for that spinning,
the elbow.
Backhand.
Was it the elbow? Oh, backhand. That's right. The backhand.
Yeah. He went for the spinning backhand, and it cost him dearly. He slipped, fell down, and the rest is history. Now, look, here's another interesting point. Really, there still is a question of whether that not that anyone cares. A lot of people want to see Chael get his ass whooped and talking all that smack.
Right.
But it is somewhat controversial where that knee landed.
Right.
You know, because that knee might have caught him in his sternum, but it still caught him on the chin, which is technically illegal.
Right.
Because the first thing you hear Joe Rogan say, he asked, you know, Goldberg, he's like, you know, he asks him, he's like, was that to the face? Did he kick him to the face? And he said, you know, yeah, I think so. And then Joe's like, that's illegal if he did. But, you know, because they even asked Chael after the fight, did that knee catch you? And you know what though? What you gotta respect about Chael though, it was his reply, because he's like, well, you know, look, I don't make any excuses about what happens. You know, what the ref sees is what the ref sees, and I've gotten away with stuff in the octagon, and he goes, that's just the way it goes.
Right.
Hey, you gotta respect that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But ultimately, look, like I said earlier, like the beginning of this, you know, conversation, I referenced Jon Jones, you know, no reason to believe that he's not going to win this fight. But at the same time, you know, I tried to emphasize what Chael has shown, which, you know what I mean? I mean, is relevant and could make him maybe a threat to Jon Jones. We don't, you know what I mean? It's such a, who knows? I mean, Chael could shock the world.
Right.
Let me tell you, I'll say this.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know they both got excellent wrestling backgrounds. If Chael gets Jones on the ground, what do you think will happen from there, if it does happen?
This is what look. If Chael gets knocked out, it'll be attempting. I think what Jon, in my personal opinion, what I would train him to do, which, like I said, I'm not. Winkle John is you know, amazing coach, but Chael's obviously going to go to take you down. It's just a given. Try to knock his ass out when he goes, you know, for the takedown. When he comes in, either he's going to catch him with a knee or a kick to the grill as he comes in. I could see Chael, if he's going to get knocked out, either he's going to get knocked out like that, fall right on his face and be out flat, going for a takedown and getting caught, or he's going to get caught with one of those elbows that Jon likes to throw.
Right.
Or choked out. I mean, hell, man, the guy can lose any kind of way. But that seems like the most probable to me. If Chael, you know, I just think Chael's going to have a hard time taking Jon Jones down. If he gets him to the ground, I see Jon Jones doing mad damage from the bottom.
Right.
But this is the thing, okay? This is going to be a decisive factor in this fight. Chael has a reputation for taking people down and not really, I mean, he hits them, but he's not doing all this damage. Like, he can be better at his ground and pound. You know what I mean? As far as, like, he's never finished a fighter with ground and pound that I've seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's guys out there that if they get you in that position,
it's over.
Like, oh yeah. Forget about it. And Chael, like I said, Chael can't beat Jon Jones taking him down and doing what he was doing to Anderson Silva.
Right.
It's just not going to work. That's what I see.
Yeah. There was a lot of rumors going around stating that in their second fight with Chael and Anderson, that Chael was, doing a lot of steroids, and he had like a very high testosterone level. Now I know that the normal testosterone level is about, I think, 4%, and they were saying he was at 14%, and that's what caused him to slow down. What's your honest thoughts on that?
I mean, to be honest, I personally have not heard that, about the second fight. So I really can't, comment on that, because I haven't heard one thing about his testosterone level prior, not to say prior, I mean, post the second fight. I do recall the first fight, an issue being made about the fact that, Chael Sonnen, does TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, which is something that, normal men and a lot of athletes as they get older do because it's allowed, it's allowed in sports, like it's considered legal. I guess they have a valid reason to use it. But Chael's in his mid-30s and he's, probably in the most physical sport there is on earth.
Right.
And like I said, it's debatable. I mean, how much do I think it gives him an advantage over fighters? No. Do I think it gives him an advantage at the age he is in fighting at the level he fights? Sure. It allows him to perform at the level that he performs at, which he performs at a very high level.
Right.
It's like I said, really, it's a matter of how the question is being asked, because the implication in a lot of those questions when people, either, ask about what someone thinks about him doing TRT or even just talking about TRT in general and the overall philosophy of it.
Right.
Everybody's attitude is different. I mean, I can quote Chris Weidman, recently, not too long ago, being asked about what he thought about TRT in the sport and yada yada. And him, he made a reference to the fact that, that he himself doesn't expect to be performing at the level that he's performing at right now at the age 23 or 24, however old he is.
Right.
Or 26, I believe. No, 26, 27, something like that.
Talking about Jones?
No, I'm talking about Chris Weidman.
Oh, okay.
Because Chris Weidman was recently asked about what was his thoughts on TRT, which is what Chael does.
Oh, okay.
And he referenced Chael in his response. He said, because the question was kind of directed at Chael's use of it. And he said that he doesn't agree with it. He doesn't think it's fair because he doesn't expect to be performing at the same level that he's performing at now when he's Chael's age. So he kind of had a kind of a negative stance on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's a wrestler and, and all that. To me, it's like I said, I mean, is it fair? I mean, I don't know how qualified I am to say that just as a fan and a watcher, because I'm not the guy getting in the octagon, getting punched and kicked at. You feel?
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but, like I said, I don't know. The fact of the matter is, do I think it gives him an advantage over fighters? Like, let's say steroids gives an athlete over, regular athletes who don't do roids?
Right.
No. No, it doesn't. And I don't think there's anyone that can say it does, really, in my opinion.
Now, let me ask you this, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that, they're kind of upset because they feel that, Chael Sonnen don't deserve a shot because he, has 2 back-to-back losses from Anderson. Do you honestly think he deserves a shot against Jon Jones?
I believe do I believe he deserves a shot for losing those fights? Obviously, no. But do I believe he deserves a fight for taking the fight when the UFC offered him the fight? Absolutely. Okay, let me tell you something. Life is about opportunities. The hell with all these semantics that people want to talk about, this and that, how he lost to Anderson. First of all, Anderson is the greatest fighter in the world.
Right.
He lost to the great. Look, it's not like you're fighting Joe at the bar or freaking,
some random dude, yeah.
Yeah, some bully down the street. I mean, you're fighting the number one fighter in the world. I mean, all the people you could fight in the world, you're fighting the number one guy, and you took it to his ass. Yeah, you lost, but let me tell you something. I wouldn't feel ashamed of that. You feel me?
Right.
I wouldn't come home going, yeah, I got my ass kicked by Anderson Silva, man, my life is over.
Right.
I got to fight him. Matter of fact, I earned the right to fight the master.
Right.
That's a hell of an accomplishment, whether it's second place or not. I'm sorry, it's more accomplishment than most people ever accomplished in their life. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Fact of the matter is, okay, the UFC offered, because of circumstances that had happened that were unpredictable and unforeseen, they had to act quick. You know, it's not like they went straight to Chael Sonnen and asked them. They asked all these other UFC light heavyweight fighters, and all of them said, "Oh no, I'm not ready for him." You know what I mean? Chael said, and quote, "I will fly to Las Vegas tonight,
right,
and fight him tonight if that's what you want me to do."
And here's the other thing too. He said that he would do it for free. Like he don't even want to get paid. He'll just fight him for free.
Because Chael Sonnen is about it.
Right.
All right. Whether you like the guy or not, one thing you can look. You know what's funny about just like I said, I'm just going to use an analogy like in life in general, like in our society, right? A lot of people talk about being real or was not real, right? Real is real. You know the attitude out there on the street. Fact of the matter is this: if you can't recognize it, Chael is real, then you're not real because you're not being realistic.
Right.
A guy, you know, are you willing to get in the octagon against Jon Jones?
Shit, hell no.
Okay, then.
I mean,
okay.
I'm not a fight. I mean, I obviously don't fight in MMA, but you know, I mean, a lot of people would probably see it differently, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, regarding what, like him deserving the fight?
No, I mean just like MMA fighters in general. You know, because I know there's a ton of MMA fighters who I think that would love to get a chance at Jon Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters that would love to get a chance at whatever champ is in their weight class.
Right.
But you got to understand something. Chael was already the number one, you know, contender for, you know, for middleweight, right? And he had 2 fights with Anderson. Like I said, he lost both. You know, shit happens, you know, but you have to understand, okay? Fans don't get the business side of things. Like all they can only talk about is from their perspective. Because let me tell you something, man. Every fan thinks they know it all. You know what I mean? I don't know it all. I'm just giving my opinion. So let me just go on the record and say this is my opinion. Okay? But the fact of the matter is they had to make a business decision to save something, you know, and what happened. I don't think that the whole, like, discussion of whether he deserves or not is relevant anymore because it was the final outcome of Dana White, you know, kind of really just like on a limb trying to save, you know, a card. And he went to all the people. He asked the fighter that he probably thought, because he wouldn't have asked them if he didn't think they would want that fight.
Right.
You know, he asked them, and they all made an excuse. Nobody wanted to fight Johnny Bones Jones. And the only man, okay, ask yourself this question instead of bickering about all this and who deserves whatever. Why is it that the UFC, after exhausting all their options in the light heavyweight division as a potential challenger to save an event, okay?
Right.
And you know how Dana White is. Dana White is real.
Yeah, he is real. And he was pissed about that shit too.
That's right. He's real. He's mad. He's like, he doesn't understand. He's got, you know, listen, dog, if you're a fighter, straight up, you need to be ready to fight at all times. If you're a professional fighter, there's no such thing as being out of shape. Are you know, if you're Randy Couture right now, or Chuck Liddell, somebody like that, you want to lay around and lounge, so be it. You're not getting in the octagon no more.
Right.
Okay? But, so I understand his mindset. And I agree with him. Why did the UFC immediately, once the light heavyweight, they couldn't go to heavyweight. What are they going to ask, a heavyweight? Come on.
Right.
They went to the middleweight and said, who could we fight? Because they know Anderson wasn't going to fight Jon Jones, you know.
I mean, not that fast, you know what I mean? A fight of that caliber.
Not that fast.
Right.
As big of a deal as, and the UFC wouldn't want to do that because that's a fight they can milk and promote the right way, not on some limb like that, and you know, milk it for what it's worth.
Yeah, a fight like that, they would have to take time to promote that kind of shit.
Oh, hell yeah, it would be the biggest fight ever.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say that's why did the UFC then, you know, ask Chael? They could have asked any other middleweight. They asked Chael, dude, because he was the man of the hour at the time, whether he lost or not.
Right.
They felt like he was the most worthy
contender.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. So let's just say that when Jon Jones steps in there with Chael, let's just say that Chael loses. Do you think he'll retire, or do you think he'll keep going? Because he'll have 3 losses back to back to back. What do you think of that?
First of all, if he lost the third fight, I don't think the 3 strikes rule applies to Chael Sonnen, okay? I just don't. I think Chael Sonnen has kind of created a niche for himself where he's kind of like, they're losses, but they're victories for him at the same time on another level. You know what I mean? It's made him more famous. Right. It's made him a household name now. He's got the gig on Fox.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The guy,
like worldwide known now and shit.
That's right. He's famous in Brazil. They know who the hell he is. Let me tell you, the guy is a brilliant.
The marketer from hell.
Right. He's a brilliant PR guy for himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, and the sport though, and the sport. Because love him or hate him, like I said, if you were ever a fan of professional wrestling, there was always heels and faces.
Right.
And you know, and you loved him or hated him, that's the way it goes. Whether you like Chael, it doesn't matter. Whether you hate Chael, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that he's Chael Sonnen, he's there, and whatever your stance on him is, I think he's good for MMA.
That's true that. So you think Jones is going to get this fight?
What? Well, you mean win it?
Yeah, like win it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I think? Hold on. I think that we could be shocked. I mean, don't count Chael Sonnen out. He shocked us already. You know.
Right.
If Chael Sonnen beats Jon Jones, okay,
yeah.
I mean the world is gonna stop, like, for a day. It's going to be the day to Earth still. I mean, that's going to send shockwaves around the world. I mean, because imagine Chael Sonnen with the light heavyweight strap around his waist. He's going to become an enigma. But, like I said, I mean, can he get through Mount Jones? I don't know if he's that good of a freaking mountain climber.
I think Jones will get him, man, but I think it's going to be tough. You know, I think it's going to be like one of those long and gritty fights, but that's just the way how I see it. But
I mean, a rough decision or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's gonna be long. It's gonna be long, man. I don't think Chael can just. I don't think he's gonna take Jon Jones down. Honestly, he has to like kind of just fight him from the outside, you know. But then again, man, Jon Jones got those damn long ass fucking kicks, man.
Yeah, I mean he's got long everything. I mean, long fingers, long elbows. And Chael.
That dude's like an Inspector Gadget and shit, like Dalsim from Street Fighter.
You bought it. I mean, pretty much. Exactly. I mean, exactly. Go gadget.
Right.
Elbow, this, knee, you know.
Fucking doing yoga fire and shit.
I mean, you brought up an interesting point, though. I mean, the fact that, look, it goes back to kind of like a point I made at the beginning of the conversation about how, like, I could envision Jon knocking Chael the hell out going for a takedown. Because you gotta understand that his coaching staff, mentality is, I mean, what Jon Jones already knows and wants to give it to everybody is that Chael's gonna try to take your ass down. That's his game. Take you down, wear you out. Jon knows that, and he's ready for that. And in Jon's mind, he's like, you can't take me down, Chael. You know, take me down. I'm gonna elbow a hole in you.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna submit you because you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. It all goes back to a point that, you know, I kind of made earlier about how, because you made a good point about Chael not being able to take Jon down and or have to fight him standing up, and then, going back to what I think the mentality of Jon's, coaching and fighting, even Jon himself, Jon's a pretty intelligent, guy.
Oh yeah.
He knows, like, in his mind, he's kind of like, Chael, what's Chael gonna do? Take me down, Chael, I'll submit you. You suck at you suck at submission defense. Even if you take me down, I'm stronger. I bet I can out wrestle you. Think of Jon's mentality. He probably can, and he'll probably hurt Chael a lot worse than Anderson did off the ground. And they already know he's gonna try to take him down, which is why I say I can kind of envision a knockout on a takedown, on a shoot attempt,
right?
And catching a knee to his face and just because Jon, you understand something. Jon is saying that he's gonna beat Chael in devastating fashion. Those are his words.
That's harsh words right there.
Oh yeah.
See,
he said that.
Here's the thing, man. I just don't want to see Chael go in there and just, fight a really dumb fight. He got this big opportunity to do some dumb shit like another, spinning backhand and, sit on your ass and, I don't want to see that shit. I want to see him, if he loses, that's fine, but I just want to see him, fight a really good fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're going to see that. I think because, if you follow kind of like the, if you follow them since, those losses or whatnot, he's kind of, he made fun of himself for what he did. Because if you watch Chael fight, that was very uncharacteristic of him, which is why it's such a joke. You don't ever see Chael doing something, and he knows that. And he knows that that was a stupid move, and it cost him.
Right.
But, no, I think you're going to see, Chael is a highly technical fighter. I mean, even as a stand-up fighter, the guy, he went head-to-head with Michael Bisping. A lot of people tried to, there's some people that say, oh, he lost that fight. Well, that's nonsense, because I've watched all 3 rounds of that fight many times. Okay? Just to make sure that Michael Bisping didn't win and it wasn't some screw job, because I wanted to see if MMA going the route of boxing.
Right, right, yeah.
They just want that fight, so they'll give it to Chael. Chael actually pulled it off.
That's true.
He pulled it off. Sorry.
That's true. But anyways, we'll move on to a different subject here. All right, man. I want to talk about Jose Aldo because I don't think nobody's beating this dude at his current weight class. Well, how do you honestly see in this guy? Is he going to keep staying on top? What do you honestly think?
Well, Jose Aldo is at the top of his weight class at the moment, and I don't see anybody in his weight class defeating him. I mean, that's why they're pushing him they're pushing fighters higher in weight to fight him. Like the whole Frank Yeager got his noggin smashed by him,
And fucking what's his name? Uriah Faber, man.
Oh yeah.
When I saw that fight, I was like, wow, he made that dude look. Wish he was never born, man. I'll tell you what.
Dude,
he fucked his legs up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn.
Well, Jose Aldo, like I said, he's one of those elite Brazilians that he's not your. I mean, look at the fighters he's beat. He's like I said, he's in the top 4 pound for pound, I believe, or 5.
Right.
He's the best at his weight class, and I don't see any. I mean, if he beat Frank Yeager silly the way he did,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see nobody beating that dude, man. He's too good. Yeah, that dude's just a badass.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone. I mean, I don't know if with Jose Aldo wants to challenge himself, would he go up in weight and abandon his belt?
Yeah, see, that's another thing I was wondering too.
I mean, cause think about this: him beating Frank Yeager, who was the champion before. If in his mind, he's probably like, "I beat the old champ. I could beat the champ."
Right.
It's all him.
I think eventually, though, he'll move up, though. Probably not now, though, I think.
It's possible.
Because sooner or later, I think what's going to happen is, man, it's going to be like who's left for him, you know what I mean? In that weight division.
Well, it already is there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's why the prospect of him going up in weight, because he's not going to go down in weight. He'll go up. It should be enticing to him, but then again, it's like I said, he could have the same mindset that, say, Anderson Silva has.
Right.
Anderson Silva is not a natural middleweight at all.
Right.
But that's where he's cut his, he's kind of set his legacy at that weight class. And, there was once upon a time when he was a natural middleweight, but he isn't anymore. He's like, the guy's like probably sitting at like natural light heavyweight.
Absolutely.
And he goes up to 205 and fight too, you know what I mean? So.
Exactly. GSP just came off a big win off of Nick Diaz. So with that victory, how close do you see a GSP versus Anderson fight?
Well, that's interesting because from what I've read online, GSP has been quoted as saying that Anderson Silva could be his next fight. Because I think he's already looking past Johny Hendricks for some reason.
Right.
I mean, look, before we can talk about GSP and freaking Anderson Silva, we should probably talk about Johny Hendricks versus GSP because that's his next fight. And Johny Hendricks is no bum.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I mean, big rig, it packs a big punch, man.
Yeah.
That guy, dude, he dropped Catman like a redwood tree. I mean, dude, that was timber if I've ever seen it. You know, it was hilarious. I mean, dude, if you cut like a 3-second snippet of like Chapman falling and then rewinding and then falling and rewinding, it'd be pretty hilarious. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, Johny Hendricks, like I said, do I think he's going to beat GSP? I just don't see it. Unless, like I said, you know why I say that, man? Because, look, the Nick Diaz fight with GSP that just recently happened, you know, I was surprised how GSP pretty much showed Nick Diaz, I can beat you at any level. You're supposed to be this boxer. Everyone fears your hands. You'll knock me out. Yeah. Guess what? GSP was Superman punching right through his guard. Bomb right in the mouth, dude.
You know what's funny, too, is that Nick Diaz, like, called him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He called him out and then got his ass whooped like that. It's like, damn.
Well, Nick Diaz is a legitimate fighter. You know what I mean? He's not some jabroni. I mean, the guy's beat a lot of people's asses. It's just that, like I said, when you come to the UFC, you're fighting the best in the world. You might beat a lot of guys.
Right.
But can you beat the best there is?
Right.
And he had his shot, just like Carlos Condit had his shot.
Yep.
Just like Johny Hendricks is about to get his. But you know what? I think GSP is too strong. He's too big. He's too fast. He's got a harder spirit. He's got heart. I mean, he's just, I don't know. If Johny Hendricks pulls off another Max Serra defeat on GSP,
right,
that's another thing that'll send shockwaves. But like I said, it'll also spice up the UFC a little more. You know, if there are these shock losses.
Right. That's absolutely true. That'd be pretty huge. But what's his name? Lyoto Machida just came off a big win. Where do you think he goes from here now?
Lyoto Machida did come off, you know, a big win considering like it was Dan Henderson that he got the W on. Right. But in the MMA fan world, you got two kinds of people. You either hate Machida or you love him or you respect him. I should say, I don't know how many people say, oh, I love Machida. There are fans out there, but either you respect him or there's people who hate him. And the people who hate Machida call him, they say he runs from fighters. And I've had a few debates with a couple of, keyboard fighters.
Right.
But anyway. The thing is, like I said, I mean, Lyoto Machida's style is karate. If you know anything about karate, evasion has a lot to do with the combat. You know what I mean? That's what the martial art is around. That's his base. And you're going to sit there and criticize him because he moves. Hell yeah, move. Who's going to stand there and get caught with the H-bomb from Endo?
Exactly.
Okay, that should be a freaking, an execution next to, like, electrocution and lethal injection, you know?
Right.
Because it'll take your head off and kill you with that blow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and Lyoto is an intelligent fighter. Okay? Yeah. Of course move away from him. Of course don't let him hit you.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was one of those, kind of like pick and run victories, you know? He hit here and there and he ran, pick and here and move, pick and here and dodge. You know, he didn't really run like Carlos ran from Nick Diaz. He kind of just evaded it, runs backward like he does.
Right.
I think he's just a highly, extremely technical fighter, and I think Lyoto Machida is one of the most dangerous fighters in the world.
He is, man, and to tell you the truth, he's one of my most favorite fighters in MMA right now. Well, after what I saw what Jon Jones did to him, I was like so shocked, man. Like, I thought he nearly died in that damn octagon, man.
Well, what's funny is that really, like, if you think about it, I mean, a lot of things, okay, we can look at it two different ways now that we're talking about just fighting and warrior spirit and all that. I mean, we're talking about MMA. But if you really think about it like this, a lot of people reference that. They say, oh, look, he killed him, right? Street fighting is a hell of a lot more different than MMA.
Right.
Okay? Because I'm sure Lyoto would be using Hadoukens and hurricane kicks on the street that he can't use in MMA.
Exactly. And a dragon punch.
Yeah, Ryu, basically.
Right.
He's like the manifestation of that character. But the truth of the matter is this. Look, in a street fight, where there's no rules, who knows if Lyoto would be the more dangerous guy? Who knows if he's more dirty of a fighter than Jon Jones?
Right.
And in MMA, you got to fight certain rules.
Certain rules, right.
So, but he did basically get murdered.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. I never expected that.
He left them in a heap of like
a pile of dust.
That's why Jon Jones is legit as he is, because you can't deny the man's accomplishments.
Oh no, for sure.
You might not like his personal character. Jon is a young guy.
Right.
There's some things that he does that I don't agree with, but then again, I always take into consideration he's a young guy. And even for being a young guy, he's a hell of a lot more mature than I was at his age.
I hear that. But, yeah, man, I think this video's getting kind of long. We're going to end it right here. You got anything last minute words you want to add? You want to give your YouTube name out there so people could check you out?
Yeah, I'm Jupiter Rock 1. I don't necessarily always, do these any MMA fight videos. I do have, certain videos that I put on there, little musician stuff and whatnot. I'm a musician for a lot of people, but I'm also an MMA enthusiast and, a martial artist to a degree. And
that's what's up.
I do have, a fair perspective on MMA. And like I said, everybody's free to disagree and have their own opinion. But
exactly,
I just want to say thanks to Jay for having me on, and we had a good discussion about it.
For sure, man. And we're gonna do a post fight once the fight's over. We'll set something up.
Absolutely, I'm down.
All right, man. You guys leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. It's your boy Carter J. I'm out.